You ever just feel off? Like you're running on a different schedule than the rest of the world? It's this kind of digital fatigue where your own internal rhythm just doesn't seem to line up with the clock on the wall. Well, if you've ever felt that way, you're in exactly the right place, because today we're going to figure out why.
So I want you to think about our concept of time, our calendar, like an old house that we all live in together. And as the slide says, yeah, it's got character, for sure. But the foundation? It's shifting under our feet. For this explainer, we're going to be like home inspectors for time itself. We're going to go searching for the cracks in that foundation. Cracks that might just explain that feeling of being totally out of sync.
And our first clue is hiding somewhere you'd never, ever think to look. A Christmas song. Get this. If you actually add up all the gifts in the 12 Days of Christmas, the partridge, the maids a-milking, the whole shebang, you get 364. That's one day short of a year. It's this amazing little breadcrumb, right? A hint of some forgotten calendar, a hidden code that tells us maybe, just maybe, our modern idea of a year is missing something.
Okay, so let's step inside this old house of time. And right away, you can feel the problem. The whole place is built on a rigid, man-made blueprint that just feels completely disconnected from the natural cosmic reality we experience every single day.
This slide just nails the conflict, doesn't it? On top, you've got the Gregorian grid. It's artificial, it's static, it's the imperial system that governs our work weeks and our holidays. But holding it all up from below is what we're calling the orbital absolute. This is the physical truth of our planet spinning through space. It's somatic, meaning it's in our bodies, and it moves in a spiral, not a straight line. That tension you feel, it's the clash between these two systems.
So, to really understand what's wrong with the house, it's not enough to just point out the crooked floors. We need to find the original blueprints. And it turns out, we've been carrying them with us this whole time. They're written into our very biology. And this brings us to the fascinating world of chronobiology. What the science has discovered is just mind-blowing. Our bodies aren't just passively floating through time. No, we are literally packed with our own timekeeping devices, a whole suite of genetically programmed clocks that are constantly ticking away, regulating everything.
And it's not just one clock. Oh no, it is an entire orchestra. Just look at this table. We all know about the famous circadian rhythms. That's our 24-hour sleep-wake cycle. But then you have faster, ultradian rhythms, like your heartbeat or those 90-minute sleep cycles we go through all night. And they're also slower, infradian rhythms that last longer than a day, like the menstrual cycle. Our bodies are an absolute symphony of different times, all playing at once.
So, who's the conductor for this whole symphony? Well, deep inside your brain, there's a tiny little region that acts as the master clock. It's our body's central server for time. It gets its main cue from daylight, and then it sends out signals to dozens of smaller, peripheral clocks in your liver, your kidneys, and your other organs, making sure everyone is on the same beat. Okay, so our bodies are this finely tuned biological orchestra. That's amazing. But what happens when the concert hall itself starts to move? Because the problem here isn't just about our internal wiring. The very foundation of our house of time is shifting on a cosmic scale. And that feeling has a name, apsidal jet lag. Now, apsidal is just a fancy word for the points in an orbit closest to and farthest from the sun. But this isn't just some clever metaphor. It means that our personal, internal feeling of being off is directly connected to a real, measurable astronomical drift. Our inner state has a cosmic origin.
So what's causing this cosmic wobble? Well, as you can see here, it's basically two different long-term motions happening at the same time. The Earth's orbit itself is slowly rotating, and our planet's axis is wobbling like a spinning top. Now, you don't need to memorize the names. What's really important is what happens when you put them together. They create this massive 21,000-year cycle that causes our seasons to slowly drift out of sync with our planet's actual path around the sun.
And we can measure this drift with incredible precision. The date when the Earth is closest to the sun, that's called perihelion, slips one full day later in our calendar every 58 years. It's a slow-motion cosmic sag, but it is relentless.
And this timeline really shows you the impact. Look at this. Way back in the year 1246, our calendar and the cosmos were in perfect harmony. Perihelion happened right on the winter solstice. It was a perfect alignment. But today, it's already drifted into early January. And in another 2,000 years, it's going to be in February. See, our calendar's nailed to the wall, but the planet itself just keeps on moving. So, what do we do about it? Well, this isn't some abstract thought experiment. It's a practical project. It's time for a great temporal renovation. It's time to start tearing out the old, faulty wiring in this house of time.
And here's the four-step plan.
First, the inspection. We have to identify the rot, just like Pope Gregory had to literally skip 10 days in 1582 to fix this exact kind of problem. Second, demo day. We tear out the poisonously inconsistent 12-month grid. But step 3, we're smart about it. We keep the load-bearing walls, the fundamental, essential symbols of the sun, the moon, and our own biological pulse. And finally, step 4, the new layout. We install a much more efficient, symmetrical 13-month calendar, one that might actually align with our physical reality.
But, you know, a renovated house is only great if it actually works for the people living inside it. We need modern tools to sync this new structure with its inhabitants. We need to build a smart home for the soul.
And this is where artificial intelligence becomes an incredibly powerful new tool. Think about it. By analyzing all the data streaming from the watches and rings we already wear, our heart rate, our sleep patterns, our movement, AI can start to decode each person's unique, internal symphony of time.
But, and this is a really big but, this tech comes with some serious challenges. As this slide points out, we absolutely have to deal with the black box problem of algorithms we don't fully understand. We have to confront the very real risk of biased training data. And of course, there are massive questions around privacy and consent. If we're going to build this smart home, we have to do it responsibly. That's non-negotiable.
So here's the big takeaway. We have the biological knowledge, and we have the technological tools to finally move out of this drafty, uncalibrated house of time. The question on the slide is simple. Why would we stay? When we could build something new, a system that aligns our technology, our bodies, and the cosmos into a true sovereign sanctuary, a way of living where our time is finally our own. And that really brings us to the final thought, because this isn't just a big cosmic or technological question. It's deeply personal. We've seen that your life is governed by dozens of hidden biological and cosmic clocks, all ticking away at this very moment. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Are yours in sync?